You know this community by now. Valve isn't giving us something, so we just kind of make it ourselves, I suppose. And that reigns true for the much-awaited sequel to Half-Life 2 Episode 2. You know, Half-Life 2 Episode 3. A chapter in the Half-Life 2 story that we ended up never getting, leaving us on a pretty nasty cliffhanger. And yeah, Half-Life Alyx technically does something with this cliffhanger, but I'm not going too much into spoilers here. Many projects have popped up trying to create what Episode 3 could have been. Many after Mark Laidlaw released his Epistle 3 blog post back in 2017. But you wanna know what I found this week? I found a Half-Life 2 Episode 3 mod that started development even before Epistle 3 was released. Wanna know what it is? Let me show you.
LambdaGeneration.
The mod I'm talking about is called Half-Life Interlude, and it was announced to be in development all the way back in March of 2016. The summary on the ModDB page has the following to say. Experience Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Gordon Freeman awakens amidst the wreckage of a downed helicopter. The Combine is ruthless, hunting him down. Continue the Half-Life storyline where Episode 2 left off. Half-Life Interlude is created by a modder from the UK who's pretty new to the scene in terms of released projects, and his name is Pega Shing. In his first update post on the official ModDB page, he says he's been learning the ins and outs of the Hammer editor for Source and that he finally feels confident to tackle a project. For his first project, he wanted to create a small experience that continued Gordon's story after Episode 2 that won't last super long, around 2 to 3 hours. This is so that he can still finish the project without it taking a lifetime to complete. He also states that he just wants to put his vision of what a Half-Life 2 Episode 3 could be out there for the world to see, just like what many other teams are doing, while in the process also being able to use this project as a portfolio piece to potentially start working in the games industry. Now, since this is the very first update post, there isn't much to show just yet. Just a helicopter flying through some snowy scene and models for a winter-ready headcrab zombie and Alyx. There used to also be a video, but that's been delisted unfortunately. It's been a while, after all. Talking about a while, that's the last thing we've heard from this project in, well, quite a while. According to the ModDB page, the project went completely quiet after this. And the silence continued until this year, when suddenly the mod was brought back to life again. On April 23rd, 2024, Pega Shing released a new update called Is It Really That Time Again? Almost a full 8 years after the initial announcement. In this new update post, Pega Shing tells us that the reason for the large gap was that he needed some time to figure out how to make the mod properly. That's quite some time to figure things out. I'm sure personal stuff also got in the way a bit. That all being said, development didn't stand still, like, at all. During the silence, Pega Shing has gotten better at almost everything in terms of developing his project. From 3D modeling, composing music, and creating the audio for the game to even his level design skills. He also mentions that he has been playing all of the Half-Life games over and over again in order to really gain a good feel of how the games play, how they work, and how Valve designed the levels. And he's implementing all of that knowledge into his own project to make Half-Life Interlude feel as much of an actual Episode 3 as it could. Almost like Valve could have released this themselves back in the day. He's also working on the mod full-time now, which means that he's basically treating this as a job almost, working hours on it every single day until it's finished. Even though I don't think he's being paid for any of this, maybe he saved up some money to be able to do this during those 8 years as well. Alongside a bunch of very promising images of an icy expanse, a leather-clad Vortigaunt ready to help you take down a headcrab zombie, and a zombie chilling in the snow with a Combine soldier approaching it, Pega Shing also mentions that closed playtests have also already been happening and that a Lost Coast-sized demo will be releasing soon. Exciting! It seems like Half-Life Interlude is fully back. And oh, back it indeed is, with a teaser video releasing on May 17th. It shows the player crawling out of a vent looking over the same icy expanse we've seen in the update article before, but now in action. Some small dioramas follow after, with Alyx entering the white door the G-Man usually disappears through at the end. It's super interesting and I'm already hyped for this, to be honest, even though it doesn't actually really show that much. The music in this teaser is also composed by Pega Xing, by the way. It's called Cognitive Dissonance and it's a bop. And the other track included in this update, called Vortal Solstice, is also quite beautiful. At the end of the post, there is what seems to be an encrypted message. Now, I tried to decode this using several cipher decoders I found online, but I couldn't make sense of it. I even asked our own head programmer David if he could crack this, but no luck. He does really like the music though. If anyone in the comments can figure this one out, feel free to let me know what you got. It could be that we just missed something really obvious. On June 7th, Pega Xing released Time for a Heart-to-Heart, in which he answers some questions. Like when the mod takes place, what tech and themes are being used in a mod, since the original episodes all had their own technology showcases and themes of their own, and if there's going to be any cut content that's gonna make it in. According to Pega Xing, the mod takes place directly after the ending of episode 2, with Gordon boarding the helicopter ready to embark on his Arctic adventure. On his adventure, he needs to find out the fates of both Alex and Dr. Mossman, what happened to Mossman's team, and find out where the Borealis actually is. Alex is actually not your companion throughout any of the mod, it seems, as Interlude is also taking the ending of Half-Life Alyx into account for its version of Half-Life 2 Episode 3, as well as Mark Laidlaw's Epistle 3 now. But it's using these as a rough outline, and it doesn't aim to follow them to a T, having his own surprises in store. Some of the tech that Pega Xing has in store for the mod is also pretty interesting. It's not necessarily new, and it has existed in the game for quite some time actually, because he's using a similar vertex animation system that's being used for the Source Engine's facial animation system to animate environmental objects like tarps and flags waving in the wind. It makes the environment feels a bit more alive in this cold Arctic part of the world. Some cut content is also going to potentially make it into the mod, like the Hydra, a base named Kraken Base, the Ice Pick might also make an appearance, and who knows what else. And we learned that the leather-clad Vortigond we saw earlier is going to probably play a bigger role in the mod. He apparently tries to protect his skin using a combined sniper rifle. He'll no doubt be super useful. There are a bunch more details in this particular update post that I did not mention, so you should probably check it out yourself. Of course, there is a link to the ModDB page in the description below. The very last update article, at least at the time of writing, was posted on June 10th, and it has a brand new teaser. This teaser shows some actual combat and some other scenes as well, like the boarding of the helicopter at the beginning of the mod. It shows that same helicopter crashing and even a Hydra probably wanting a taste of Gordon. It's pretty cool, and it really shows how developed this mod already seems. From what I've been able to see, it really does look like something that Valve could have made back then, and it would be very cool to be able to play this once it inevitably comes out. That being said, we are getting a demo very, very soon. How soon? Well, it could be imminent, to be honest. So keep an eye on the ModDB page, because this might not be something you would want to miss. Is Half-Life Interlude going to be a worthy substitute for Episode 3? Or is it going to be another drop in the bucket filled with loads of other Episode 3-like mods? I guess we're about to find out. What do you think, though? Be sure to let me know in the comments. I always love reading them. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to the LambdaGeneration channel for more content. Now, if you'd excuse me, my hay fever has been acting up lately, and I've been holding in several thousand sneezes. So see you all next week.
LambdaGeneration.